Alright, what is up, you guys? I am here with my Q&A special, and I'm going to get right into this. I got a lot of comments, a lot of questions, so I'm going to try to do this in a timely manner, and I apologize in advance if I butcher your name. So, speaking of butchering names, Ishan Chatterjee, that's probably not how you pronounce it. Apart from WWE, what are you invested in? Other sports, favorite TV show, favorite movie, and what would you like to do ahead in your life? Other sports, I absolutely despise football with a dying passion. I love MMA, UFC, stuff like that. I used to play basketball a lot, and that's really it. I don't watch sports. UFC is really the only sport that I watch, and then wrestling, which is sports entertainment. My favorite TV shows and movies, two favorite films are 12 Angry Men and Blair Witch Project. Some of my favorite TV shows are The Twilight Zone, Breaking Bad, The Incredible Hulk from the 80s and 70s, or 70s and 80s. I think it was like 77 to 82. Batman the animated series, the X-Men animated series. I grew up in the tail end of the 90s, so that's what means the most to me. And I just love old school film and TV, like Twilight Zone, and then 12 Angry Men. And what do you want to do ahead in your life? I kind of just live day by day. I don't really make goals. I found it to be healthier for me to just take it day by day. Live in the moment, I don't like to think too far ahead in the future. But if I had to, the number one thing I've always wanted to do is become a filmmaker / writer. I've written over 30 different outlines, possibly more than that, So I love writing, I love films, so I just love the art of filmmaking. So I would love to do that one day. JJX Division, what is your name? This is a question I get a lot, and I figured I've addressed this before, but I don't give out my name because I've had severe problems with privacy, over the past few years in my life, where it was life-changing, and so I don't give out my name for that reason. It's not to be a dick, it's because I've had severe issues with that, so that's why. So, sorry I couldn't answer your question. It's just something I don't give out, and hopefully people respect that. Melissa Hernandez, do you like the Attitude Era or the Ruthless Aggression Era? I grew up with both, but I think I grew up more with the Ruthless Aggression Era. I started getting into this, and it started becoming part of my life at the tail end of the Attitude Era. But, I just love the Ruthless Aggression Era. 2003 SmackDown, it's one of my absolute favorite eras. My favorite year in WWE is like 2001, so that's still in the Attitude Era. But, we were slowly transitioning out of it at that time. And I consider WrestleMania 18 to be the end of the Attitude Era, personally. I know a lot of people consider it to be WrestleMania 17, but I disagree. So, I think the name change. So, after WrestleMania 18, I always consider the name change the end of Attitude Era, personally. And then Morgan Carolyn, probably ruined that name too. Do you think AJ Styles will surpass CM Punk's title reign? It's very likely at this point. I would have said no like a year ago, but I think November it's going to be 1 year from when he won it. So yeah, I could very easily see this happening. It's getting closer and closer. So I don't know. I think, now that Samoa Joe lost that many times, because I thought that was who was going to dethrone AJ Styles, but obviously not. So I think it's it's obviously a very big possibility at this point. Okay. Darrog Kelly, probably ruined that name as well. What are your favorite Jack Nicholson movies? As you know, Jack Nicholson is my favorite actor of all time. Probably The Shining is number one for me. About Schmidt is very underrated, if anyone's ever seen that one. Anger Management's hilarious. You know, you have classics like Chinatown, and there's just so many iconic roles. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But for me, gotta be The Shining. I always love that film. What is your top 5 favorite matches and pay-per-views and wrestlers today? That one I'm gonna make videos about on its own because that one's gonna take some thinking, like top 5 favorite matches. I can tell you my favorite match and my favorite pay-per-view and some of my favorite wrestlers today. My favorite match is Shane McMahon versus Kurt Angle, King of the Ring 2001. Favorite pay-per-view is WrestleMania 19, and WrestleMania 8 would be number 2. And wrestlers today, I'm a huge fan of Okada. Not the biggest Kenny Omega fan personally. Finn Balor, AJ Styles, obviously. You know, a lot of The Miz. I've always been a Jeff Hardy fan. So, you know, it's easier to tell my favorite classic wrestlers, but those are a few of my favorite modern ones. Okay, Beast Incarnation. What is your most prized possession that you like the most? And I don't think I said the previous person's name. IG the King. I don't remember if I did or not, but whatever. Okay, what is your most prized possession that you like the most? I have 2. So, obviously, in my own collection, it would be my WrestleMania leather anthology. But outside of that, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. At least the original trilogy. More than anything else. But we have a James Earl Jones Darth Vader card. Really cool. Signature. This thing goes for like $500 on eBay. I love Star Wars. You know, I even like the prequels. That's kind of a guilty pleasure. But, yeah, in my mind there's only 6 films. Anyway, what is your favorite movie from this year? By Barry MK400. Annihilation was great, and Searching. Those were the 2 best films I'd seen. I think I'd rate Searching a little bit higher than Annihilation, but I loved both of them. Okay, Darrod Kelly again. What do you think of the Tarantino movie Inglourious Basterds? I actually have not seen that one. You know, it's on my list. I have a huge list of movies that I need to watch. Yeah, so that's on my list. I have not seen it. I know it's good. I know the reviews are good and everything. So that's on my list. Paisley the Bear. Favorite wrestling show that you have attended live? SmackDown 1000 is coming up, so I have a feeling that's going to be my favorite, just because of the whole lineup. But WrestleMania was awesome in New Orleans. You know, it wasn't the greatest WrestleMania by any means, but it was just cool. It was my first WrestleMania, so I'm going to say that one. And, you know, the whole weekend was great. Brian LY2202. If offered the right amount of money, would you ever trade in your entire WWE collection, or would you still keep them? I don't think there's any amount of money, per se. It would have to be one of those life situations, you know, where you really don't have much of a choice. I've been collecting for over 11 years now, a little bit over 11 years. So we'll just say 11 and a half. But, you know, it's been a big part of my life. It's not something I could just give up. The smart thing would be to get a large sum of money and just buy them all again. But, to me, I have memories with my collection, you know? Like, the ladder match DVD, my first one. If I gave that one away, it'd no longer be my first one. So it's just, I'm attached to them. But, you know, if life happens, then, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. There's things more important than my collection. Okay, Michael101591. What future WWE shows would you like to attend, and what is your favorite rare DVD? Obviously the Vince McMahon signed leather collection. My all-time favorite. And future shows, I'm going to WrestleMania 35. And Obviously, I'm going to SmackDown on Tuesday. So I've been to SummerSlam and WrestleMania. I feel like I need to go to the other big two pay-per-views, Royal Rumble and Survivor Series. Those are the two big four pay-per-views I have not been to. I'd also like to go to a Money in the Bank. You know, the Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view of the year, so I'd like to go to one of those next, if I could. I will not be going in Phoenix. That's way too far. I hate flying, so I already flew for WrestleMania. That was good enough. Okay. Alex Murray, if you could only own 5 DVDs out of your collection, what would those 5 be? Leather Anthology, Raw Homecoming, Judgment Day 2002, WrestleMania 19, and the History of the Intercontinental Championship, which is my favorite. I think that was 5, yeah. Awesome 4K. What are your thoughts on WWE not doing docs for any wrestler this year? I understand the frustration there. I know you've been pretty frustrated about that. It's ridiculous. I think the last one we had was Kevin Owens, if I remember correctly. And that was, what, July of last year? So it's been over a year. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. There's so many great wrestlers you could do docs on. I'd love to see a Rick Rude, Goldust, The Miz. I think that'd be interesting. Even Vader would be a good documentary. So there's just so many that we could have. It's just ridiculous. I understand the frustration. Bucky Hines, or Hines. Ever check out indie wrestling, specifically Game Changer Wrestling? I have not heard of Game Changer Wrestling. When I think of indie wrestling, the ones that come to mind for me are like early 2000s. You know, early 2000s Ring of Honor, I love. I don't know if you want to call New Japan independent wrestling, because it is pretty mainstream, but I love New Japan. CZW, I love CZW. Even like old school indie TNA, love that stuff. So, I don't really watch too much modern indie wrestling. I don't watch Ring of Honor. I don't know. Kind of lost my interest in Ring of Honor. But I did watch All In, and it was fantastic. I think I gave that show an A. So, yeah. It was either an A or an A minus. Okay. Edward Underhill, longtime viewer. Do you think WWE will be dead by 2021 if they don't turn things around? It's always possible. I don't think they will be. But, you know, by then, the ratings, I'm sure, will be much lower. You know, it's only going downhill from here. You know, they still have this Fox deal, though, for $1 billion. So, I mean, they're going to be doing fine financially. So, I don't think they have anything to worry about financially. I just think more fans are going to tune away. That's really just the way I look at it. You know, I think we're in a terrible period for WWE. So, I mean, at the same time, they're just making more money than ever. So, they're fine. What's your opinion on the Death of WCW book, if you have read it? I have not read it. I believe it's by Brian Alvarez. I listen to his podcast. I like Brian Alvarez. It's on my list of things to read eventually, if I can find it. I'm sure it's on eBay and stuff like that. I don't shop Amazon, so. Okay, favorite dirty move in wrestling. Eddie Guerrero, his final SmackDown match. You had him and Mr. Kennedy, and then I count this as a dirty move. He gave examples like low blow and eye rake and stuff like that. I consider this dirty move, where Eddie just, you know, he hit the mat with the chair, threw it to Mr. Kennedy, and then collapsed, and then got a win by disqualification. Classic Eddie Guerrero, just love it. Okay, favorite TV shows. I already listed those. Twilight Zone, Incredible Hulk. And then, was there ever a time while watching wrestling you were legitimately scared for a wrestler's safety? Not really. CZW, I mean, you're always watching that, thinking someone's going to die. WWE, no. It's they're very it's very safe now, unless Brie Bell is in the ring. So I mean, I don't know. They kind of play it safe now. If anything, the Mankind chair shots to the head. That one was pretty brutal. That with The Rock. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. Best shoot promo in wrestling. I can tell you my favorite, CM Punk's pipe bomb. And Bret Hart's, if you remember, it was before the Montreal Screwjob. Bret Hart did a promo on Vince after a steel cage match. That was really good. He was just swearing. It was fantastic. And even the Bret screwed Bret. That's a good one. You know, that was one of the first times we had the Mr. McMahon character. So that was really cool. Okay. Jackhammer 29. A lot of questions here. With SmackDown's 1000th episode, would you be interested in the box set containing 20 of the best episodes? And, yeah, it's similar to the Raw box set. Yes. I would love to see a box set, you know, like the Raw 20th anniversary set. Like 2003 SmackDown, early Ruthless Aggression years. I would love to see some episodes of that. What are some of your personal favorite wrestling t-shirts? I don't own a single one because I'm very weird. I don't wear things with logos or pictures. I wear plain shirts. My style is very simple. You know, I just have a long sleeve shirt on, rolled up. That's just how I am. You know, I like very plain shirts. So I don't have any favorite ones. I think the most iconic is Austin 316, though. Are you looking forward to the return of XFL? Do you think it will be a success? And what could be done to keep it from failing again? I think it's going to fail regardless. This is retarded. I really don't know why. I don't know if Vince is like literally having one of those things where he knows he's going to die soon, so he has to go back and fix this. I'm not going to watch it. I hate football. I think it's going to be a failure again. I just don't know why this is happening. I'll probably watch it just to see if it's any better than before. But I'm just going to watch one episode, then I'm done. Do you think Asuka's streak should have been broken? If so, was Charlotte the right person to break it? Yes and no. I think Charlotte was the right person, but they should have waited. Maybe WrestleMania, even maybe SummerSlam. WrestleMania 35, I mean. So, yeah. I think it should have waited like another year. Give her the title. Okay, and I was there in person, so it was cool to witness. Do you have any favorite WWE theme song albums? Which theme songs are your favorite? My favorite would be the Raw 15th anniversary. And, you know, some of the earlier ones, too. Was just some of those, like, Attitude Era theme songs. My personal favorite, though, is Christian's theme from 2005. I just love that theme. I also love the DX theme, too. And even Triple H's, I forget what it's called. China used it, too. It was, like, in 2000. He used it very briefly. I forget what it was called, though. You know what I mean. Okay. Do you watch Total Divas or Total Bellas? Do you feel like these kind of reality shows hurt the wrestling product? Kayfabe's been dead for a while now, so no, I don't think it hurts the product. 20 years ago, yeah, it would hurt the product. You know, even like 30 years ago. And I watched Total Bellas. I cannot stand Total Divas. I can't stand Nia Jax. I don't like Natalya. I just think Natalya is annoying and all prissy and think she's entitled to everything. But I watched season 1 of Total Divas, and that was the last season I watched. So, yeah. And Total Bellas, it's kind of a guilty pleasure just for John Cena and Daniel Bryan. I cannot stand Nikki Bella. But I like Brie Bella. Outside of the ring. I think she's much more tolerable than Nikki Bella is when she opens her mouth. And who do you want to see, or what do you want to see in the main event of WrestleMania 35? Should Roman's be in it again? Fuck no, he shouldn't be in it again. What are we at now? 32? No, 31, 32, 33, 34. So we've had 4 in a row now. I'm sure he'll be in it against The Rock. I think that's pretty much what's set at this moment. And I would like to see Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles, but that's kind of ruined now because of Saudi Arabia. I'd even, if we're going with the whole Shawn Michaels thing, then just put Undertaker and Shawn Michaels in there one more time, have them retire for good, both of them. I think that would actually be a pretty full circle. Okay. Corey Ayer, I've ruined that name too. What are your thoughts on real WWE fans dying and turning into quitters, haters, posers, or just spoiled brats? What are your thoughts on WWE fans dying and turning into wrestling critics? I completely understand why they do. I mean, look at the current product. But my thing is, if you're going to sit here and complain about it, just don't watch it. If it only brings pain to your life, just don't watch it. Go watch New Japan or Impact if that's what you're into. Ring of Honor. There's a lot of different, wrestling platforms out there. You don't have to watch WWE. That's the way I look at it. It's one of those things where people just bitch, but then they still come back. Yes, I think it's in a terrible place right now, but it's not unwatchable. I mean, in 2010, I quit watching because I just could not take it anymore for the quality. And I didn't complain. I just stopped watching. And if it gets to that point again, then that's what I'm going to do. If it gets to the point where all I can do is bitch, then I'm going to stop. That's just how it is. I'm not going to sit here and be a spoiled brat and stuff like that. So, the Sloth King. All about DVD spines. That's interesting. What is your opinion about the 2003 pay-per-view DVD spines? I think they look good all together, but on their own they look like shit. If you have all of them, it looks really cool on the shelf. I love it. But it's one of those things where if you don't have all of them, it just kind of looks like a clusterfuck mess on your shelves. But I prefer just the regular pay-per-view, all those. I prefer just to have the logo and everything. I'm kind of glad they didn't continue doing that. And he also said he doesn't like them because they basically make you buy all the DVDs. Yeah, pretty much. What is your biggest nitpick you can have about a DVD? Okay. I have an example for this one. Okay. So, here, I'll get another example here, too. And my phone fell. Awesome. Okay. We have the Matrix collection. Okay? The slim cases and everything, if you're looking at it, they come out of the right side. 99% of the DVDs come out on the right side. Raw 20th Anniversary set comes out on the left side. I know it's stupid. I know that, okay? It just bothers me when it comes out of the left side, not the right side. I don't know why. It just bothers me. And, okay. Next up, we have TN Couponer, King of Deals. What inspired you to make a YouTube channel? This is my, 5th or 6th YouTube channel now. I started YouTube in 2011. Basically, Zaran Isaac, who's a DVD YouTuber, just not wrestling, just regular movies and TV. He has the biggest collection I've ever seen. So he really inspired me. And then 420 Goonie, who you might not know who he is. He's part of the old school YWC. He inspired me back in 2011. He helped me out a little bit. So, yeah. My channel really started out non-wrestling, because I have a lot of movies and stuff like that then I kind of gradually went over to DVDs, and then my other channels had nothing to do with that, and now this one, here we are. If you could travel back in time to any wrestling event, which one would it be and why? Probably WrestleMania 3. It's not my favorite pay-per-view of all time, but just for the history of it, you know? I would love to go there. WrestleMania 19 is an obvious one, but WrestleMania 8, even WrestleMania 6, because that main event is just epic to me. Say what you want about Warrior and Hogan. WrestleMania 6, that main event was just epic. I love it. And, yeah, King of Deals. Captain Nobody. What is your favorite movie of all time? 12 Angry Men and Blair Witch Project. Magical Toaster 2. What is your favorite John Cena match? What happened to Magical Toaster 1? Okay, favorite John Cena match. Royal Rumble 2007. Umaga Last Man Standing match. I love that match. And also the 2013 CM Punk match on Raw. It's another good one. And also, do you like John Cena's album? No. I do like If It All Ended Tomorrow. That's a good song. I'm not a big rap person, so, if I like rap, it's like NWA, Eminem, that kind of rap. So, yeah. It's just kind of cringy to me, honestly. Okay, what is your favorite WWE year in 2000s and 2010s? 2001 is my favorite in the 2000s. 2010s, honestly, that's really hard. Because that's like asking me which pile of shit smells a little less bad. So, 2010, that's like a microwaved piece of shit where it smells awful and you want to stay away from it as much as you can. I think 2014 or 15 are the most watchable for me. WrestleMania 30 and 31 are great. WrestleMania 31 is one of my favorites, so I'll go with 2015. Ugh. Yeah. Okay, and that was by Alexis Corona. Mr. Kennedy, what is your favorite John Cena match? I already answered that. And do you miss Cena in full time? I don't miss him full time. I like his part-time role. I just wish he'd come back for a little bit more. I like Cena. I was very critical after he buried the Nexus in 2010. That pissed me off really bad because I like the Nexus. But it's one of those things where I think he's good in part-time. Just come back, have some good matches, then leave. Like his program with Roman. I thought that was really cool. Really good shoot promos and everything. Well, shoot promos, you know what I mean. And I really enjoyed his matches with Kevin Owens. I liked the program with The Undertaker, as short as the actual match was. I thought the promos were good leading up to it. But, yeah, I just like him more part-time. But, honestly, I'd rather have him as Universal Champion. But anyway, that about does it. If I missed any, just let me know. I'll answer it in the comment section. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll do more of these eventually. I don't like to do this too often, because then it just becomes the point where you have no questions left. So I like doing this maybe like a few times a year. But I hope you guys enjoyed. For now, this has been the DVD Freak. Peace out.